Hello, 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 and welcome back to WorkHARDAholics. This is Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDaholic. Today, Today is really special. For those of you who watch the show or who have dared to actually meet me in person, don't like everyone. But I am very excited because I have here with me someone that I really admire and respect. Don't play this back. Don't this back later. And someone that I am so honored who just happened to be coming into our neck of the woods. We have 14-time Emmy award-winning Justin McCray.
Thank you, Shirley. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be back in Richmond. It's a pleasure to be back here in the Women's Business Center and to see you again. And I'm enjoying every bit of it.
So you're just that cool when you can be back and just lean back, just like real relaxed with it, because he has accomplished that much. So for those of us who have never laid hands on an Emmy, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and the road that led you there?
Woo. A little about me. I am a new cinematographer for Scripps, for the Scripps Network. I work.
National B people.
Yeah, I work on a franchise that's called Two Americas. We shed light on issues about the America you know and the America you don't know. And so I've been working on this franchise for about almost 2 years now. I work with my colleague, which is a phenomenal storyteller, also a multiple Emmy Award winning journalist, one of the best in the country. I also work with one of my other teammates, Emmy Award winning producer, Diane Dueñez. She works out of St. Louis. Our team is me and Matt is in Atlanta, Georgia, and Diane is in St. Louis, and so we, we connect and on a daily basis, and we throw stories at each other and things of that sort, and we find great people like Shirley Crawford, to
Butter on both sides.
yeah, to kind of just take us there, and
I'm curious to know, how do you go from Jackson State
mm,
to 14 Emmys?
ooh, um, hard work, dedication, um, commitment, uh, a lot of sacrificing. Um, being I'm originally born and raised from Mississippi. Grew up in a small rural town called Clarksdale, Mississippi. Probably 20,000 um, capacity, and I want to say 1993. I went to a Jackson State football game.
That'll do it.
But I have individuals in my family that went to Jackson State, and but I fell in love with Jackson State. I want to say 1993. Went to a JSU football game, and I saw the Sonic Boom of the South.
I was waiting for it.
March into that stadium, and when I saw had that moment that day, and my mind was made up that I was going to be in that band, and the best band,
And you were?
and I were the greatest organization on the planet, and but and always been a part of music has been like a big part of my life, um, and I was in the band in junior high and high school, and it was really cool. Individuals knew that I was going to go to Jackson State. I mean, any school in the country could offer me a full ride, and I was going to turn it down. It was no other place I wanted to go, and it was a dream come true. Going there and to accomplishing, being in that organization. And I mean, that organization really has built the character of the individual that you see here, right now. I mean, being in college and being in that organization was like a full-time job.
I'm sure it
So,
was. Were you all doing the practices all summer long, first thing in the
oh yeah,
morning?
you had to be, band camp starts at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Oh.
and it didn't end until after midnight. So being a college student, and when football season started or when the school year started, I mean, practice starts at 6 o'clock, and depending on who you play, um, you will not be, you're not out of there until minimum 12:30, minimum.
And do you think that's part of what play? Because I've heard you say that while the rest of us are sleeping, you're working, you're on your grind.
I'm on my
Do you
grind.
think it goes back to that time?
Absolutely. It absolutely go back to the grind. It really prepared me. It really prepared me by being at places on time. Um, just the commitment. Being a part of an organization like that, and it's very demanding of the university. And I say that is because when the football team is not winning, people come to the football games to see me.
I'm sorry.
They come to see me. So,
Clearly.
yeah,
Clearly.
yeah.
I was about to question that. I dare not. Of course, they were coming to see what there were no Emmys at that time.
No
but
Emmys at that time.
You were still Justin McCray.
But to like I want to say a really stepping stone of that, like being in college, was in the band, and then I was also an athlete. I played tennis at Jackson State, and so it came in the opportunity where that an individual, basically offered me like my first job, and that job was consist for me to come in at 2:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
And so
In college, that's when most
in
of us were going
college.
to bed, and that's when you were going to work.
So this is the sacrifice. So I told you, band practice from 6 to 12:30 minimum a.m. And so imagine a college student going back to the room for probably an hour and a half, get whatever rest that you can get out of there. And then I went to work. And then I went to work. I was at work from 2:30 to 7. And then I was in class at 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow. I have a whole new level of respect for you just right now off of that. Beyond the 14-time Emmy Award. I like saying that. I would like to have one of those little statues in my hand right
You know
now.
what?
Maybe next time.
Listen, I'm gonna do something special for the Women's Business Center. I'm gonna donate
Don't think we won't take it, too.
a Emmy here, so y'all can just have here.
We sure will take it. Like, we won this Emmy vicariously through 14 times. You're not gonna miss one.
I'm not.
It's
I'm
not really a hardship. We had a Zoom call with Justin, and it was a Zoom FaceTime, whatever. We were looking at each other as we spoke, and we're going, oh, it sure be nice to see an Emmy. I want you to know he just kind of reached in like under a box under the table and go like, yeah, like just that casual. I guess when you have it like that, then that's what you have.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA.
Every day, someone starts a new business, and more women are starting their journey into entrepreneurship. In honor of Women's History Month, we bring you a powerhouse of women in business. Join us for this dynamic, limited 3-part series, Women and Entrepreneurship, starting on March 29th. Visit IML Studios on YouTube to watch.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
So, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm trying to find the hat so that I can be the winner of the Boss Ladies Who Tea hat competition held by the Empower Conference. What do you think? I think it's the winner. So, I know that you were studying broadcast journalism. The job that you had, I'm still trying to figure out, like, how did you go from the degree to, it's a big difference. I know lots of people who study journalism, who study, broadcast journalism, other aspects of media in college, and never come close to where you are.
I mean, to be honest, like when I went to college, I actually wanted to do computer animation.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to make cartoons. And at the time, well, Jackson State didn't have that program. And so I was talking to a counselor and she suggested that like computer science would probably be the closest thing, but she knew that like, hey, when you leave here undergrad, you're gonna probably have to go somewhere so you can really emphasize into that. And so I did do so I took her suggestion and I did computer science for like 2 weeks. It was too much math to me. Like I love math, I do.
Whole week.
Yeah, I'm all about numbers, but it was just like I was like, how in the world I'm gonna take calculus 1 and calculus 2 at the same time? I was like, no, we can't do this.
You need some foundation to work
Yeah,
on.
so I had 2 weeks. So 2 weeks within the school, and so so I end up going back to, I was talking to a best friend of mine. So I was like, hey man, I don't think I can do this computer science. And so he suggested to me, he said, what you've been, you got like, you just the personality and things of that. So he said, man, you'll be good like doing TV. And he suggested, I said, you know what, I can do that. He said, then you can do that. You can probably do PR. You can do production. He was like, it's a lot of, leeway that direction you can go. And I said, okay, cool. And I did that. And so, and the individual I'm talking about, he actually did go to Jackson State, but he transferred, went to Mississippi State. And when he graduated in 2002 or 03, he ended up getting a job at the #1 station in Jackson. And because of that, I had the opportunity to go into the television station all the time. So when I went in there, I'm so sorry. I shook hands. I made sure, individuals, they knew me. And I was, at Jackson State.
You are quite memorable.
And so that's what happened. I showed my face at every opportunity I got to, I walked through that door. And so that's what happened. The phone rung and I never forget, his name is Charlie. He was the executive producer there. He gave me a call. He was like, hey, I got a job for you. It's a associate producer position open. He was like, hey, I know you're a college student. You in the band. You play tennis. He's like, you think you'll be? He's like, in this job for you to come at 2:30 in the morning. And I never forget that moment. I looked up in the sky and I had a little moment. And God told me, he said, you can do it. He said, make it happen. This your opportunity. And I took it. And
that's no small opportunity, though.
And look at me now.
How we like it now.
And I took that. I took that opportunity, and I ran. And when I got that opportunity, I made sure that I did everything that I can do to make sure I knew how to do everything. I learned how to shoot. I learned how to write. I learned how to produce. I learned how to edit. I mean, there was nothing that I couldn't do.
But that also makes you invaluable.
Yeah.
And so if so-and-so is missing, you can jump in. Or whatever you need. Like I have this saying that I always say, I don't like being held hostage. So if I'm trying to do something, I don't want to go, oh, well, so-and-so didn't show up, so this can't happen. No. It'll happen. It might not be, Christina quality. It might not be what Justin would do. But if that's our schedule, something is going to happen. So that's a good way to be that plugger that when you're gone, everybody's like, where's Justin? Where's this? Where's that? It is to be commended, kind sir.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. And it's funny you say, like, when, somebody go missing or, you know, individuals that wasn't around. That's what happened to me when I was working at this station. There was I never forget. It was early mornings, and it was a tornado. It's actually one of the an event that actually really locked eyes on me. Just higher up individuals, and so there was a tornado that happened in Monterey, Mississippi, and this tornado came to. I want to say it was like a F3, F4 tornado come, and it literally wiped this whole mobile home um, living area. And we were in the newsroom, and we getting calls, and the anchor was actually on the desk, and during the commercial breaks, he'll come in the newsroom with me. And so, and he's talking to the meteorologist out in the studio. He's like, yo, we got to get some people out there to Monterey. He was like, it's bad. And so he came into the newsroom, and he was calling all the photojournalists. Nobody picked up the phone. And so he looked at me, and he called the chief photographer. Nobody picked up the phone. Nobody picking up the phone, Shirley. And Wilson Stribling looked at me. He said, Justin, you know how to shoot. You think you can go down to Monterey and shoot this? And I looked at him, I said, absolutely. And so I got the camera, I got in the company car, and I head down to Monterey. I didn't have no idea where I was going. It was like pouring down, raining. And, my senses just popped in, and I saw this ambulance, and it was in front of me. And I said, they have to be going to the scene. And I followed the ambulance and going into that subdivision. And when I got it there, I mean, it was like, it looked like a movie. I mean, you had trailers that was upside down. You actually had a cow that was on top of the trailer. And
I'm trying to logistically figure that one out.
And so it was so crazy that when I was in there, I was the only camera man in there at that time for like almost 2 hours. And so, about time, so I basically got exclusive video. I got video of individuals that was pulled out of homes, mobile homes, and they had to, strap them down to the bedding, the 4-wheelers and things of that sort. And I'm like right there, and I'm like getting all of this, and so I get a phone call that say, hey, Justin, you got to get back here before the noon. And so now I'm trying to rush back to the television station, right? And they put this video, I want to say, Shirley, I walked in the door about 11:50. So they got 10 minutes to cut this video. And so Shirley, I come in there, I gave them the video, and I knew it was good. I was kind of like, man, I hope this stuff good. And so, like, Shirley, I end up leaving. And so I get a phone call, go back to school. And so comes up, Shirley, I was going home to see my mom. And I get phone calls from so many people from the television station. They say, man, you saved the television station today. They says, you saved all of us, because our news director was about to get in our butts. And this from photographer. They said, man, do you know that all your video that you shot was on headline news? It's on the Weather Channel. It's on CNN. And it didn't hit me. I was like, no, you guys playing. They was like, no, man, we even recorded for you. They was like, and so when the news director personally called me, and he was like, he comes from a military background, and he has a very deep voice. His name was I'm looking at him right now. I can't even think his name. And he comes and he says, Justin, I just want to let you know you just did this fantastic job. And I'm so proud of you, what you did for the television station. And you really continue to lead us to be the #1 station in the state of Mississippi. And I was just like, wow. And I'm like, Shirley, I'm like 22, 23 years old. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, that's crazy. And so I had this thing about myself that if somebody challenged me to do something, I would say, I'm gonna make it happen. And so my mentor, he actually worked at the television station, and he gave me an assignment to do he wanted me to go film the Harlem Globetrotters. They was in town, and he couldn't do it. And I was at this point, it was kind of like right out there, kind of at the same time of that tornado happening. And I go capture the Harlem Globetrotters, and I was kind of scared when I did it, but
Why were you scared?
I just didn't want to come back and like it was the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I'm saying? I grew up watching the Harlem Globetrotters.
Indeed.
And so I was like, I can't mess this up. And so I come back. I went to field the game at the Mississippi Coliseum. So I come back. I drop off the footage. And once again, one of the photographers said, "Hey man, I knew you were trying to get somebody to go shoot that Harlem Globetrotter. I saw the highlights on the TV." He was like, "Man, it was good. Who shot it?" He was like, "Man, make things happen. Shot it." And so that's what
Make things happen.
That's
All
what
right.
it. So I got this name. So that's what it was. If I told somebody in the newsroom that I'm capable of doing, I says I'm gonna make it happen. And so me saving that television station, the tornado, always coming through for my mentor. Whether it's something happened at Jackson State in sports and things of that sort. And he called me. He said, "You know what? Your name is Make Things Happen."
Hey, that's a good name to have.
And that's what everybody called me. Like everybody in the industry in Jackson, that's what they know me of. They know me as Make Things.
So, all right, make things. Okay, for those of you who are out there and you're thinking, hey, you want to make things happen,
Yeah.
stay tuned right after this commercial break, and we'll hear more from 14-time Emmy Award-winning Justin McCray right after this break.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA.
Every day, someone starts a new business, and more women are starting their journey into entrepreneurship. In honor of Women's History Month, we bring you a powerhouse of women in business. Join us for this dynamic, limited 3-part series, Women and Entrepreneurship, starting on March 29th. Visit IML Studios on YouTube to watch.
WorkHARDAholic. Looking for resources to start, build, or level up your business? Want to know what motivates your favorite entrepreneur? Did you miss the last show? No worries. Check out and subscribe to the WorkHARDAholic YouTube channel. See behind the scenes. Hear the extended version of interviews. Catch one of our trainings. Miss the show? No worries. Like, share, subscribe our YouTube channel at WorkHARDAholic, and happy entrepreneuring.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
So, what are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm trying to find the hat so that I can be the winner of the Boss Ladies Who Tea hat competition held by the Empower Conference. What do you think? I think it's the winner. Welcome back. And once again, thank you to our sponsors who make this show possible. All right. If you weren't here for the first half, that's not my fault. You missed it. Go back for a replay. Oh, it's on TV. There is no replay. So right now, I'm really excited because we have with us, I've never seen an Emmy in real life, and I'm hoping to make that happen sometime very soon. But we have with us 14-time Emmy Award winning Justin McCray. You can't just say, we have Justin McCray. That doesn't do it. We have 14-time Emmy Award Justin McCray. You got to say all every single time.
Yeah.
And so thus far, we've been having like a really lovely conversation, actually, learning about like the road that led from Mississippi all the way to all over the country, really. And the road to 14 Emmys. For those of you who'll be happy to have one, we're talking about the road that led Mr. Make It Happen, to his 14 Emmys. I am really curious. So you were talking before about the show that you do with Matt Pearl, Two Americas, it's really beautiful. I don't know if you all have seen it. And if you haven't, shame on you. Go check it out.
Look us up, Two Americas.
But especially in a time where we're talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. But a lot of times we don't realize that the lens we have is just that. We have this very limited view on life. And that's why I love the episodes with Two Americas and can understand why they keep winning Emmys. What would you say has been your favorite project to date?
Ooh. As of just in my career or just with Two Americas?
Okay, let's take both. You got one for each?
Yeah.
Tell us about it, sir.
Well, I mean, nothing beats and out tops, coming to Richmond and
Butter.
butter.
I think going to your hometown outdid that. I'm pretty positive about that.
Well, it was. But I'm not gonna shut down Richmond though, because I got a special love for Richmond, Virginia. I do got a special. I got a special place. I have a special spot for this place.
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDAholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDAholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.